Yes.
There was one time
You're
I
withholding.
came in a girl, like, peeing in the vagina situation. And
What?
it was like, I said...
Peeing?
As opposed to her mouth.
Yeah.
Penis.
Oh,
Right.
thank you.
What did you think?
What'd you think?
Peeing.
No.
Peeing. Oh, got it.
That
It's
would
like,
be
you
wild.
know, peeing in her vagina.
I probably could do that as opposed to ejaculate.
Yeah,
but,
we wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little less viscous.
But when I did do it that one time, it was like unexpected, and I was like, I'm so sorry. Like I was like embarrassed that I did it. You know?
That might be a little. Yeah, you might be a little traumatized.
And I
from
like
that.
got out of the bed and like put my pants on real quick. I was like, I should go probably. I'm so. She was like, I have an IUD. I was like, I don't know what that means, but I like almost fainted after that.
Josh Potter is here, everyone. Josh Potter is one of my faves. We worked together a long time ago in Buffalo at the club. He's a stand-up comedian. He often appears on Your Mom's House, one of my favorite podcasts to be on, and one of my favorite podcasts to kind of lurk upon. I don't listen regularly, but I follow it on Reddit. I follow it on Instagram, and it's one of those podcasts that I don't listen to whole episodes.
Right,
I don't
it's like
even
a
think I'm
clips thing.
subscribed. But it's just I watch clips. I feel like I'm up on it, and I read Reddit and I see what you guys are talking about and what people are talking about on the show. I don't read Reddit when I'm on the show because people who love the show hate guests.
Yeah, I never read Reddit. I can't believe you read
They
it.
love you, dude.
You told me about that you read Reddit. You're like, oh, they love you on Reddit. And I'm
No,
like,
I don't read it for
ugh.
me, but they love it. When I was on it, I stopped following it. And
yeah.
You won't even believe it. I was on a plane the day I didn't know when my episode was going to come out, and I was on a plane and I saw it dropped. Like Christina Pazitsky, who's one of the co-hosts of it, her and Tom Segura have this podcast called Your Mom's House. It's so funny, so fun. I guarantee you'll love it. I just don't have time to listen to episodes. If I did, I would. But I saw that my episode dropped, and I immediately went on my Reddit account and it unsubscribed just for a couple days.
Right.
Because I didn't want anything about me to show up on my feed, because I know when they have guests, everyone gets trashed because they like Tom and Christina and they like you, but they don't like anyone else who joins the show. Which
Yeah,
is
there's been some
classic
surprises where they're like, oh, I like this person. You're like, well, thank God. You know what I mean?
Fandom.
So,
Yes. They do like you, but I want to say but I was on a plane when I did it, and you know how sometimes your Wi-Fi connects, but it's not actually connected.
right, it does
like,
like
it just-
ghost moves.
Yes, it just like thinks it's like waiting for you to pay for the service. So it connected to American Airlines, but I hadn't gone through and paid for it. So my unsubscribe did not work. Thought it did. Thought I was browsing safely later on Reddit. Went through, and I swear to you, it's so crazy when I see my own name or a video clip of mine in my own Reddit feed.
Yeah.
It's always like very flattering if I'm like featured on anything. This one said Nikki Glaser is insufferable with 3 to 4 exclamation marks.
Oh, no.
In that because I had not unsubscribed, and I
my
was like, God
God.
damn it. Took all of my willpower to not read beneath, even though it was like a gigantic paragraph of why I'm insufferable. And Andrew Collin noted that insufferable is the type of word that like a smartish person uses. Like you'd want people to be like, is a dumb fucking cunt.
Is a bitch or whatever.
Yes,
Yeah, like
and then you're like,
something silly.
okay, yeah, someone dumb didn't like me, but this person's like, she's irrefutably insufferable, and I shan't listen to this podcast anymore. And I was just like, oh God, a smart person
But that's
hates
like
me.
I think insufferable is more like an incel lingo now. You
Yeah,
know?
you're
It's
right.
like
I mean, it's not-
insufferable. Like,
Ugh.
what do you don't even know what that means?
I can't win. And you know what? Yeah, there's a lot of those on. Anytime a woman is on that podcast, they get trashed.
Well, I don't want to like. Apparently, you say they like me on there, so I'm not trying to offend the Reddit community. But like, I
They're
can't
not
believe any of it's not poison. Like the fact that you like frequent it for other things is wild to me.
No, they just like a lot of times on the subreddit. And let me welcome into the show everyone who's here. Anya Marina's here. It's Tuesday.
Hey, girl.
New to the show is Anya Marina is going to be on every Monday and Tuesday. Andrew Collin is Wednesday. Ian Finance is Thursday, in case you didn't know how we work here. But very exciting.
It's such a privilege and an honor and so fun.
Likewise, you're a great you're a great guest co-host. I don't even know what your title would be, but like you're just a great
Friend.
little second chair. I love it
Thanks, girl.
so much. Lil, because you're Lil, not your chair.
Yes. Oh,
You're
thank
Lil.
you.
You're very Lil.
I'm just tiny.
I just saw Bobby Kelly and Rich Voss in the hallway, and they're wearing their tour shirts. And I was like, I want one. And they're like, what size? And I was like, extra small. And they're like, how about a small? And I'm like, but I'm very little, Bobby.
I'm just a
Can you
baby.
tell I'm just a baby? Do you have baby sizes for a little girl?
Were they like, we don't manufacture shirts that small because no one would buy them on our tour?
What is their tour called again? It's like Monsters of Rock.
Creeps with Kids.
Oh yeah,
Creeps with
With
kids.
K's,
Right.
all K's.
Oh,
All
because they all
Ks.
have children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound creepy at all.
Creeps with kids. I know that's. Did they think twice?
Think that through.
Creeps with
They went
kids.
with the alliteration and thought about the creepy part secondly.
Yeah. Josh Potter, meet Anya Marina.
It's a
Anya
pleasure.
Marina.
I love
so
your
good-
music.
So good to meet you.
I've
I
been
like your
exposed
beard.
to you from Nikki's Instagram and followed along and everything.
Thank
It's
you.
awesome. I had like a real wild set on Saturday. Michael Ian Black was like at Helium Comedy Club in Buffalo. He got sick, and I was there. I did Shays with Tom, and so I was in town, and the club called me like, Michael
You
Ian
were in
Black
Buffalo
is
with
sick.
Tom Segura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the club called me like, Michael Ian Black's sick. Can you do the shows tonight? And I was like, of course. So I go over there, and it's, some people that stuck around even though they heard he's sick and that he's not coming. And I'm on stage. I do my set. I do the same set I've been doing everywhere.
Sure.
Like in Europe, wherever. And a woman left the show, went to the manager, and said that it was her responsibility as a physician to report me as a danger to society. Like I am not well, and she I have
man.
the audio of this. It's so wild.
Wait a second. So that's kind of like what I was saying before about when someone writes a comment that's like, Nikki Glaser's insufferable. I'm like, oh, it's a smart person
Right.
who hates me. This woman's a physician saying, get
Right.
him off the street.
She goes, you need to assess your responsibility in protecting an audience from these words.
She sounds fun.
wow.
Isn't that
Now,
wild? Like I
can
was
we-
the Joker. or
What were the
something.
exact words
Yeah,
you
can we
said?
trace what bit this
mean,
was
I had
that set
bits
her off?
about-
I know you know what bit it was.
I
Come
mean,
on.
there was I went hard in the paint once. I've been doing this bit about John Lennon, how he's like a piece of shit, and that how he like no one finds out he's a piece of shit, and no one talks about it because
Yeah.
Mark David Chapman did him the favor of shooting him in the head, and she didn't like that one. And then
Oh, yeah, she's going to hate that one.
I kind of went further into
Oh,
the
no.
things about that, and then
Wait,
you know,
how further?
then I had like a joke about this, that, the other, like pedophilia and stuff like that. Like
Okay.
I went, like I said, hard in the paint. I hit all the red button issues, and
Okay.
she walked out of there thinking I was like a shooter or something. I don't know what she thought, but like she felt like she had to mandatorily report me or whatever that is.
this woman.
Yeah, it was like
She's
Twitter
a
come to life.
dermatologist.
She's.
The club manager actually looked up her like I guess there's like a website you can review doctors or something.
Yeah, Doc.
And she had like a 1 star, and the person was like, worst physician ever. So she was just a
Critiqued my act.
yeah, it was me. Yeah.
I got this reminded me of when I was in New Mexico 2 weeks ago for Halloween weekend. This woman, after a show, wrote the club, and then the club manager forwarded me the email, which I didn't need. This.
Why do they do this?
I hope you have a talk with Nikki Glaser before tonight's show and have her adjust her monologue, which already
yeah.
this woman has
nightmare.
never been to a comedy show.
Yeah.
Adjust my monologue. I mean, I guess she's not wrong.
Your
It is
sketches.
my-
Rob.
Yeah.
Your theater monologue.
adjust her monologue to not capitalize include jokes about child sexual abuse and sex with mentally disadvantaged men jokes. You're calling them men jokes.
Yeah. Disadvantaged
Yeah,
men.
and sex with mentally disadvantaged men jokes. Neither is a laughing matter. The entire set was vulgar and shameful. Way too horrible to be put on this fine stage. Okay,
What?
to be honest,
Fine
the stage.
stage.
It was at the Santa Ana Star Casino.
Oh my lord.
In New Mexico. There's nothing fine about
This
the
fine
stage.
stage
When you-
deserves better monologues from the likes
Yeah,
of
like
you.
Hamlet isn't happening on the off nights at this stage.
Maybe you're
It's like-
misreading her tone. Maybe she was like, "It's a fine stage." You know what I mean? Like,
on this
It's a fine
okay
stage.
fine
Yeah, yeah.
stage. She should be entirely banned from the venue into the future.
Wow.
Into future. And yeah, it was just like I wish I could have like seen what this woman looked like, what her disposition was during the show. if I ever had her at any moment, like if I got her to laugh at any, like
Just a quick screenshot of her like hitting her knee and cackling.
yeah, just like what could have made this woman laugh?
Well, that's the most bizarre thing too. Is like I start out my set like most times, especially when people don't know me or whatever, which is most of the time.
Yeah.
By like doing the whole like getting to know me thing. I'm like, I'm blind. I'm shitting on myself constantly. And then for me to do something like that, then
That just sounds like a fact about you. I'm I'm literally,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
blind, so I'm shitting on myself constantly. Yeah. You're self-deprecating.
Right. And so for her to be like, ha 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 ha, and then to be like, okay, not there, like that's fucked up. Like,
Yes.
So, I mean, like, aren't you deranged for laughing at my plight then too, if I can't then make jokes about others or whatever?
I know.
So-
Why are these people at a comedy show?
She was there to see Michael Ian Black in her defense. I don't know.
Oh,
that's a
exactly
good
what he-
point.
Yeah, so
she would have probably
she was there to
enjoyed
be like,
that.
I wanted to hear about how the 80s were great or whatever.
Yeah.
so I'm sure she was disappointed to see me.
You have you ever had a girlfriend?
Oh, yeah.
You have
I mean,
had
I'm
girlfriends.
not
okay.
saying, oh, yeah, like, duh, but like, I've had a couple, yeah.
Yeah. But not since getting kind of a little bit of notoriety.
No, I haven't had a girlfriend in like 5 years, probably.
Yeah. Do you want one?
I would take one. I just don't. I feel like I don't have the bandwidth for it.
Yeah. Are you pretty busy?
My brain just doesn't have the.
Take one.
I don't know. I mean, you know what it is like to date a civilian. It's like
Disgusting.
it's just the worst. It's like I thought we could hang out on Saturday. It's like I'm in Houston on Saturday.
Yeah.
Like it's been on the books for months. Like what are you talking about?
Yeah. I'm a little bit nervous about all of that because I'm going to a function tonight thrown on by the dating app Raya. Are you on Raya?
I was offered to apply, but I was like, they're not gonna take me, so I just didn't do it.
Oh,
But I'm
okay.
also like, I don't fuck with those anymore.
Yeah.
I
Dating
stopped.
apps.
They're frivolous. I mean, it's like I wouldn't swipe right on me. You know what I mean? So it's like I know I need to like be in a context, or they have to get to know me in order to like desire me in any capacity.
I agree with you on that about like when guys swipe on me based on my looks or just based on a profile, I'm not as inclined to be like, ooh, yeah, like I'd like them to like me after getting to know me.
Yeah.
That's maybe
Well, for me, it's like more impossible.
That's
Like I would
interesting.
love it
Yeah.
if women were like, "Oh, he's so hot," and like swiped on me. That would be amazing. But like that's not. I'm not an idiot. I know that's not going to happen. So it's like I need to have some form of.
What if they know you
background.
though? They see you and they're like, I like his work. I've
yeah,
heard
because
his
that's what I'm
podcast."
combing from these podcast or from these dating apps. I comb for people I already know.
Yeah.
But what
So I
if
can be like, oh.
somebody's familiar with your career and they like you and they're attracted to you and they swipe right?
Like
Do
a
you
fan.
Like, yeah. Like, does that turn you off? Be honest.
I don't.
Yeah, it
I don't really
does.
like the whole like. I mean, I've gotten laid from just like women being like a fan of me or whatever, which is great. Like that's a big ego boost. But at the same time, you're never going to connect with them on a deeper level because they think you are this person they've manufactured. They listen to you talk for hours on a show or on a podcast or on YouTube or something, and they have this picture of you, and then you're just not going to live up to it.
So
'cause-
let's say a fan has seen you at Union Hall or something and is
Mhm.
like, I have a crush on that guy. I listen to his podcast. He's cute. He's funny. How am I ever going to meet him and really have a chance to date him, not just fuck him?
I mean, the DMs work to. I'll go on dates. I'm open minded to it. Like I'm willing, but you can find out 10 minutes in, like, okay, this isn't gonna be.
So
a
you'd
thing.
be open to it if a girl was like, hey, I love your comedy.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's how I meet women. Unfortunately, is them seeing me perform or seeing me whatever and DMing me or seeing me out. Like maybe they come to shows often or whatever. But
Would
What-
you, Nick?
What?
If a guy was legit interested in you and was like, I really would love to have a shot with her, but I'm not in her friend group. But he's like successful. Let's say he's like that guy that I liked for you who's married. Marcus, what's his name? Yeah, I liked his energy with Nikki. He's
Yeah.
married. I obviously wouldn't want to hook you guys up, but I liked his vibe because he was successful. He's an entrepreneur. He doesn't give a shit about doing a podcast with you or climbing, social climbing, but he's attracted. Let's say he's attracted to you and he loves your comedy. What would like a civilian type, how could they get in?
They would make their picture they would make their profile on Instagram unprivate so I could look at them and see if I'm attracted to them physically. They could write me something fun. They could try to make me laugh on it's like it's
Ew, you
possible.
like that?
But if they're funny, it's possible.
But then
like
they
Josh,
wouldn't be trying to do it. They would just do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, but
that whole like, here's a joke for you because you're a comedian. That's like, get
not
the
like
fuck
a real,
outta here. Yeah.
not like a street joke, but like be funny, be charming. Yeah, I mean, I'm currently talking to a lot of guys in my DMs that I'm just like kind of kicking that down the road because I'm like, if I'm ever available for the kind of intimacy that you're offering me, I would like to entertain dating you. So there's guys that have gotten in by DMing me, like 100% regular, normal guys. I'm entertaining it. However, I just don't really have the time to get to know someone who doesn't exist in this world. That's why I'm a little bit reluctant to go to this thing tonight. So I don't have a set tonight. Generally on a night where I don't have a set, I would go to dinner with my friends, some of whom are comedians, and then we would end up at the Cellar hanging out, and I would feel comfortable, and I would love my life. And then I would go home, and that's fine. But tonight I have to go to this, like, Raya is throwing this singles mixer, and my friend is actually putting it on, so she's like, will you please go? And I looked at the list, like hundreds of people are it was a long list we were going through last night, all these hot people. And I'm like, if I meet a guy at this thing, he won't know that this is not normal for me to be doing something other than, and I'm not interested in doing other things with my night than going to the Comedy Cellar.
Right.
I like my life. I like going to dinner with my girlfriends. And which he could join. I want a guy that's like could hang with all my friends, not just girls, and then go to the Cellar. Like, I'm not someone who's this is not normal for me to be doing something else with my night. And I think it's almost like if I were to wear a tiny dress tonight, and he'd be like, wow, she wears tiny dresses all the time. It's like, no. This is just for tonight. Yeah. So I feel almost like it's misrepresenting who I am to even go to this thing.
I would feel like I would be putting out bad PR about me if I went to a cocktail party because it's like not my environment. So I'd just be like in the corner or something, or like weird. And if I was like at a show and I just got off stage, people are like way more receptive to you. And like you said, I've never dated a comic, but it's like I've hooked up with comics, and it's like always been awesome. And it's like, why can't this be a dating thing?
Why
so
don't
I've been
you?
I have been like pursuing it, but now it's like I asked a girl, I was like, would you like to get a drink or whatever sometime? And she was like, you shouldn't try and fuck female comics.
Oh, come on.
And I was like, I'm just new in town, like we're at open mics. I thought we could like hang out, but that's fine. I'm not trying to be
well, she's
but
not
it's
the one.
No, of course. But you don't
go
want
after her.
that is like that is like not a fear, but you're like, you don't want her to be like, then she goes around like, this guy's trying to fuck all the you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm just trying to like date someone, and that would be cool, but I'm not trying to fuck all of them,
It's a fun time to be dating.
But like a comic gets it at least, so it's like if I have a show or something, they're not going to be like, oh, I thought we could like go to, why can't you like skip your set? It's like, because that's not going to happen, you know what I mean?
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, you guys don't do that in your industry. You don't take nights off. You guys are almost all compulsively in love with your career, and you love doing it, and it's fun for you, and you need to, and you all talk about how taking a night off is almost painful.
That was an unfortunate part of my last relationship. I just flat out, I'm like, I love you, but I'm never going to love you more than I love this. And like,
that's not cool to say, and that's not true.
It's not. Well, it
Here's
was true
the thing.
with her, but
no. It's not. It's not true in the beginning, and it shouldn't be true in the beginning of a relationship. That is the hard thing for me, is because in the beginning of the relationship, you don't really know the person. It's kind of like a chore to even go on dates before. Let's say if you meet on a dating app and you're scheduling a date, I'd rather do anything than go on a dating app date. And so I'm just going to push that as far as I can, and then eventually cancel and never go on it. Now, once I'm in a relationship and I'm in love, I'll blow off stand-up every goddamn night to go suck your dick. I love sex. I love hanging out with a boy I love, watching TV and laying in bed. I will give up some of that, but to get to that point with someone, it's almost impossible, because I will not give up the time early on when you don't matter that much to me.
Mine's the opposite. Like in the beginning, I'll be like, oh my God, I love this girl. It's amazing. I don't need to go do a set tonight. I'll go out with her, blah, blah, blah. But then when you're in the doldrums of like a relationship and it's just become like kind of routine, then it's like, you can't expect me to just stop doing, like, I'm going to blow off this weekend of shows so we could go to wherever. It's like, that seems, I would start resenting them for expecting that for me.
I've never been with a man who has wanted me to not do stand-up. So I've been really lucky in that way. But most women, and I'm talking to you girls that like male comics, you love it in the beginning, and you're so down.
I'm into it. No, I get it. I totally get it.
Go do your thing. I met you at a show.
Yeah,
I mean, I know this is what you do. And I've been friends with so many male comics who these girls start out that way, and then they slowly go like, well, you can't take one night off. And
right.
It's like, no, this is what you signed up for.
So it's every weekend?
Yeah,
yeah,
it is.
I
And
like
it's
to
not fair.
find a guy at the end of his career who's like just entering retirement. I'm
Yes.
like, perfect. Good. We
Yes.
can hang out.
In the entertainment industry?
Yeah,
or?
just collect residual checks.
Okay.
You're rich and successful or, comfortable
the
enough.
dream.
And then let's go to the Bahamas.
Yeah, that is the dream.
Retire.
I will say that I wanted to say on the show, I think I've said this before, but it has helped so many people make first moves on girls. Like, do you know when to make a first move, Josh? Like, how do you?
I really slow play it. I have to get like green lights, bells, whistles. The guy's got to be like flagging me down the tarmac. Like, I really wait for it. So
Yeah.
it's definite slow play.
So you do most of your kissing on,
Tarmac.
on tarmacs on
Yes.
airfields at LaGuardia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is that what you mean by first move, or like asking
Yeah, I
a
mean,
person
like,
out?
no, making a first move. You're hanging out with a girl. It's
Oh, yeah,
undecided
there's-
whether this is like going, if she wants it or not.
I
How do you?
don't know. I feel like I can tell. Like, it's odd to say this, but I feel like I'm in tune to like understanding when it's okay to like make that move, and when it's clearly not okay. Like, I don't ever just like jump into the pool, you know what I mean? Like, when I'm like, let's just see how this goes, Like,
Yeah.
you can usually like get a sign, like there's like minor touching, or just that like kind of like open body language to something like that, so you can kind of like just understand it's gonna
So
happen.
you're unlike most comics.
I have
in
a
that
trick.
respect.
Well, I guess that's true. Yeah.
I have a trick that is almost, I think, one of the surefire ways to know if you can kiss a girl.
Mhm.
And I want those watching and listening, because it's going to be on YouTube, to listen up. If you want to know, because in the Me Too era, it's very, it's tricky. Guys are scared to make moves. And I'm a girl who, like, already puts up so many defenses with guys I like. Like, generally, guys never know I like them. I eventually just have to be like, I like you. What's going on? And
Yeah.
they're like, you do? And I'm like, I literally, I've liked you for months.
Do you regret not saying that sooner?
No, because I don't want to ever have
don't
to be
want
the
them-
first one to say it. I want them to come after me. I don't want to have to be like, come on. Like, that's not sexy.
Yeah.
And then he makes the move. It's not as hot. So this is the surefire way to know if a girl is down to kiss. And I would say 99.999% of the time this is going to work. If a girl wants to kiss you, what you do is you like sit close enough to her. Like, there's always circumstances where you go out to dinner or you're with a group setting, and like your hand or your arm will casually touch theirs. Like,
Exactly,
no, not that much.
I'm
Leave
touching
your
her
hand like
boob.
this. Leave your hand like this. It is literally a hair of a touch,
Mm-hmm.
just enough to feel
Yeah.
like that. Anya, do you feel that?
Yes.
Okay. Generally, even with Anya, I think we wouldn't leave that there. Right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
it's just weird
Right.
to leave that there, even though it's the slightest touch. Our jackets are barely gracing each other.
Yeah, we do the I love you, friend squeeze, and then
Squeeze
you
and
part.
then you part. Right? But if it's like this, and it's a guy I like, and it's barely touching, and it's a guy I don't like, I instantly go back to this. Whoops, I touched you.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's a guy I want,
I'm sorry. Yeah. You say like,
I
sorry
just
about that.
leave it, and it's the most subtle way
Yes.
to let someone know you like them. It can happen with a leg. It can happen with a foot.
Right.
But I'm not talking about playing footsie under the table. This isn't deliberate. This is the slightest. Like, maybe you couldn't even like maybe a piece of hair could fit in between at some. Like, it's the slightest touch. And if the girl leaves it and does not move her arm for, let's give it a 20-second count.
Mm-hmm.
Undoubtedly, she's okay with you making a move, and she likes you and would like to be kissed.
One of the big signs that I've noticed is like, maybe I'm wrong or whatever, but like if you make a girl laugh and she like laughs and then she's like, haha, and like touches your chest
Yes.
or whatever, I'm like, all right. You know what I mean? Like, and it like
Yes.
lingers.
I like to just
Yeah.
like squeeze the guy's nipples
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
while
Well,
I'm
that's a
doing
big
it.
That's-
sign.
Is
But
that
that's
too much?
super subtle.
Yeah. Super subtle.
Oh my god, you're hilarious.
Most guys won't even sense that.
He's like, I don't know what she means. She's just pinching my nipples. This is wild.
Oh my god.
Do you think she likes me?
If you, as a girl, want a guy to kiss you, you just subtly like lift up and like
Put your
put your
vagina.
pussy
Like a dog.
like in their face.
He's like this.
But like there should be able to be like a hair separating.
Yeah.
And then and that's that
Brush
should
their arm with your
But
vagina.
a lot of guys don't even know.
I think it's a green light.
Yeah, but let me tell you, that arm touch, and I've talked about it on the show before, but I only wanted to say it again because it's been helping guys get laid a lot because
you
guys
could
are
do it
so
too, right?
scared.
As a guy, you could like kind of like brush her arm and see if she.
Yeah, that's what
runs
I'm saying.
away from it.
Guys should do this. Like, make an attempt where your arms will touch, and it won't be. And if she's not into you, she's not gonna be like, he fucking touched my wrist with his elbow. Like, no one will call you creepy. It seems innocuous, but it's a perfect way to tell.
And if they do call you, I can just be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm."
Yeah, I didn't know my coat was touching your arm.
Yeah, exactly.
But you did.
Yeah.
Oh, you did.
You did. It was predetermined.
I also love your line that you do with men.
Oh, yeah, it's so good. And I wish guys would. I think guys should do it. Girls,
Yes.
it's not working for me.
I'll tell you my line after.
Oh, okay. So mine is like, you'll be like, if you and I were just like hanging out and I was like, when is he going to kiss me or whatever? And I'm just like, God, he doesn't know. We'd be walking, like talking about comedy or whatever, and be like, oh, you know what I wanted to tell you? We should make out. Like, you just say it with the tone of casualness, and it breaks the tension. It's funny. It's not like, I have to tell you something, Josh.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's funny. It's a funny way to air out what you really want to say.
And really, what guy's gonna say no? Do people like why?
Even if somebody's
Making out
like,
is, like,
not
so
into
innocent.
it or unavailable, let's say somebody's like married and you didn't know.
Yeah, I did that.
They would still laugh
Yes.
and be like, "Oh, I would love to, but I'm married." or
I did
whatever.
it to Jenna Friedman was on the show yesterday, and we had she was dating a guy that I was hanging out with at a comedy festival. I didn't know that they were dating. We were just casually hanging out. He didn't do anything inappropriate, but I was just like, when is this guy gonna make a move? We're hanging out so much, but
Yeah.
he was like, as friends, and I pulled that move, and he was like, I have a girlfriend. So
Yeah.
it does get rejected sometimes if they have a girlfriend. What's your move, Josh
I haven't
Potter?
used this move since college,
Yeah.
but in college I was like, struggling to like meet a woman. I wasn't doing comedy yet. And I used to like be at a party or whatever, and I would say, like, if I was talking to a girl and she would like, talk about hooking up with guys or whatever, I would be like, "Oh, it must be really nice. Like, I hope I get to see tits like yours before I go blind someday." And they would be like, they would be so into it. They'd be like, "Oh, you can just see mine."
Oh my
It works
God.
every
Using
fucking time.
blindness.
Wow. I had a question about your blindness.
Yeah.
Are your standards like less than they were when you had more sight now?
People say that. They're like, "Well, you're not even really looking in HD, so what do you know?" Like, if they ask me like, how hot is this person, how hot is that person, I'm like, "Oh, I think they're gorgeous or whatever." They're like, "Well, you're blind and stuff." Like, why'd you ask
Anyone
me?
looks good
Yeah,
in front of
why-
wax paper.
And women have gotten mad at me. I'd be like, "Oh my God, you're so hot. You're so hot." They're like, "What do you know? You're blind." Like,
Oh, come on.
yeah. So like the self-esteem. I'm like, "Well, sorry. I guess there's no winning this battle." you
Yeah.
know?
What can you see? Can you
I
describe
can,
like
I have
how
like 20, 30 vision with my glasses.
Oh, well,
yeah,
that's
with one
great.
eye, but
Yeah, with one eye.
and they're,
that's
and
good
they're
enough.
like monstrously thick, but it's fine. Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining so
Yeah.
much.
That's good.
I started to have to wear glasses this year, readers, and my mom has macular degeneration.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad, but I think I've inherited her vision. She's Russian, and she sends me all these weird tips for how to improve my vision. One of which is to stare into black velvet for up to 8 hours.
Wow.
Have you ever heard anything like that?
No, I know. I stare into my phone for 8 hours. That's gonna be helping. Maybe I should switch it up. Get a
There's a
black
new
velvet
series.
wallpaper on my phone.
There's a new series on Netflix called Black Velvet that you can watch for 8 hours. Yeah, so
That I'm into.
Thank you so much for watching that clip that you just watched. Did you enjoy it? I hope you did. If you did, thumbs up it. Why don't you subscribe? Why don't you just keep watching more videos? Let them play. Share with your friends. Go share on your Instagram story. Go just have a great day.